I'll tell mine first. I auditioned. It went through several versions of a pilot. First, it was a pilot presentation. This was almost 2 years ago now. It was March of 2010. And a friend of mine, Eric Appel, who, if you guys are UCB guys, you know him. He directs a bunch of TV, and he also directed The Big Dog, which was a short film that we co-wrote. He directed. I starred in it for Funny or Die. So I worked with Eric before, and he was directing the pilot. And I went in and auditioned and did a series of auditions. And then the final one was with the guy, Bryce Johnson, that plays my partner, Billy Pierce.
Right.
And, we got to do a bunch of improv together, and we had a really good chemistry.
A lot of sexual chemistry.
There was some tension.
Yeah.
There was some tension.
It wasn't even called for in the script.
No, a lot of rubbing and touching.
It was improving. And so, so that was it. And then I got cast. We shot that pilot presentation. A while later, we shot a full pilot, and eventually it became a series. And that's where these guys' story would come in.
We replied to an ad on Craigslist.
Really?
About them looking for writers.
Excellent.
Are you serious?
For a father-son writing team.
Yeah.
And so we played that. I put a fake mustache on. And,
We'll send pick if you send pick.
Yeah. We all know way too much about that.
No, I don't know how Craigslist ads work. Is that what they say?
No, our process was much more mundane. The producers read our writing sample and then met with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
so pretty exciting.
yeah.
Words.
What was your writing sample?
It was a pilot that we'd written for Spike TV called At Ease, and it was sort of like a military thing that we'd sold to them, kind of like a Stripesy sort of thing, if Bill Murray had graduated and become a drill instructor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So just basic training comedy from the point of view of people that are like stationed at the base as opposed to the recruits.
Nice.
Sounds pretty cool.
And you just got out here.
Right? I did. Yeah, I just moved out here full time a couple of months ago.
Oh, wow.
When we interviewed for Death Valley, my daughter had just been born. She was like 2 weeks old.
Wow.
At the time, and she was actually. I did that phone interview from the hospital waiting room. Actually, she was in the NICU.
Yeah.
In the queue.
It worked out
queue,
in our favor though.
Right.
Had Mike been in the room. Radio audience, you can't see him, but Mike's hideous.
I've got a snaggletooth. And
it's like if somebody threw a jar of acid at Wallace Shawn's face.
That's
Wallace
me.
Shawn.
What did Wallace Shawn ever do to you? Make your life better.
Should we grab this call from Enrique real quick?
Oh, yeah, Enrique's still there.
He's been there for a little bit of a long time.
A little bit of a long time?
It's 800-405-6425. Enrique, you're on the air.
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Well, I typically call in to do Seinfeld trivia, but I did a little research on YouTube to find out more about the show Death Valley. Now I want to know what time the show airs. It looks like an awesome trailer.
It's every Monday night at 10:30 p.m. If you're in Central Standard Time, it's at 9:30 p.m.
Big fan of 9/11 and Cops and the movie Zombieland. It seems like a combination of both.
All of those
Yes,
things
all
are
those things
exactly
happen.
what we are. So if you can imagine a good show that's had any kind of comedy or horror on it, that's what we are.
Yeah, if you don't like it, Enrique, then
I mean,
God help us all.
If one monster epidemic could happen for real in your life, which one would you want? And why?
I guess zombies. That's my gut reaction to that question.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is that what I like about zombie stuff is the surviving in a post-apocalyptic world fantasy. Like, every time I watch shows or movies like that, I go, like, what would I actually do, you know?
Right.
And so we've all probably played the game of planning our escape route and so forth. So
What game?
in our minds.
That's what I do every weekend.
Oh, the reality of planning it. And
Yeah.
so, I would probably pick zombies just to see if I could make it.
Mm-hmm.
I've played that Left 4 Dead video game. I do not make it very
No.
far. Not be zombies.
So you'll choose something else.
I would choose werewolves.
Werewolves,
actually,
okay.
Because, I mean, at least the version of werewolves that we have on the show, werewolves are just dudes who've got this, it's like sort of a flare-up of herpes or something.
Oh.
It's like once a month, bad times.
It's a little close to home for Steve, apparently.
Well,
So,
I didn't want to say.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but most of the time they're not werewolves.
Right,
Is what
most
you're
of the
saying.
time they're just dudes.
Yeah, true. It's kind of only one night a month.
Right,
Yeah, but if
exactly.
there's 20,000 werewolves in
Like
LA,
dating my girlfriend.
There you go.
I'm married.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say if there's like 20,000 werewolves in LA, they'd be popping up at different times. But I guess the full moon's only the once.
Yeah,
so
it's just the once.
So you just have to lock yourself in your basement.
Yeah, I mean, in our mythology, we have like the UTF goes around on werewolf nights and locks the, make sure that all the werewolves have been contained in their, specifically designed, rooms in their own houses.
Right.
So in theory, it's not super dangerous, And
Okay.
plus, I feel like a lot of them would be good at basketball.
Yeah,
for
and
some
van
reason.
Somersault dunks.
For some reason.
I don't know why I think that, but I just do.
Okay.
Dating non-werewolf girls.
So we have one vote for zombies.
We got
We have-
one zombies, one werewolves, and it could be anything. I mean, you could go outside of the big three.
Swamp
Oh, wow.
You can go. Yeah, I was gonna say, can I throw
Loch
in a
Ness
swamp
monsters.
thing?
Yeah,
can I throw in
sure.
like some sort of Mars attack
Oh, wow.
situation?
Oh, wow.
Aliens.
Wow,
We're going to open it
all
up to
right.
aliens.
Okay.
As long as they're all equal threats, we got to do apples to apples here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be like mean mice or something.
No, or the Borg.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get away from those guys.
No.
Yeah, let's be real.
I guess I'd probably go zombies. Also,
Okay.
Weak.
just I have a lot of aggressive fantasies of making love to zombies.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a bad
Wow.
idea.
Just muzzle them, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh, wow.
you just
I've
looking
got
for open
all
doors.
the equipment that you would need.
Yowza.
You mean?
I've invested. It's expensive too.
Yeah.
Just things to hold them down with?
Yeah.
Well,
restraints
I mean, and again, this is AM radio. I don't know how thorough you can go into it, but
Just here, on this doll, just point to what you would do.
No. There is no actual doll.
We have
Do
to
not-
we have to get one, Steve.
Yikes.
Yeah.
You go ahead and.
I'm going to
make
need
that
a younger doll.
and
Younger is a relative term. He could
Yeah,
be 25.
Right.
This doll was 64, so
Why did they not make old dolls?
No.
like that
Very
Seinfeld
creepy.
episode, right?
That would be real creepy.
Oh, the doll that looked like George's mom.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
awful.
That's the oldest doll you'd ever see, though. You never see a gray-haired doll.
Nah.
No, you don't.
I think we just figured out $1 million market.
Yeah.
There's been like a really old plastic Joan Rivers doll
Yeah.
dancing around there for a while. I
Barbie's
think.
super old is the thing.
True.
If you think about it, she's just had a lot of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Well, I guess I should place my vote.
Yeah.
I like zombies just because they're slow. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like werewolves and vampires would be like quick and smart and be
Well, but
running up the.
lately, there's been a healthy dose of fast zombies, you
Yeah.
know, being depicted. So there's that.
Yeah.
That's true, I guess.
Here's the thing about zombies. Zombies are easy to kill one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Zombies are easy to kill 3 or 4 on one. But overpowered, they're easy to overpower you because they just keep making more zombies. And you can't reason with them.
Yeah, but I'd rather go up against 20 zombies than 20 vampires.
Well, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
a zombie, you lock yourself in a room and they can't figure out how to get in.
Right.
It's like having
Yeah.
a bunch of dogs attack you.
Yeah, they're chewing on the doorknob of it.
Well,
like-
what if it was like a Velociraptor situation and the attack
Oh.
comes from the zombies you never knew were there?
Oh,
Yeah, you know,
Clever girl.
some of these zombie movies, they're starting to get smart. You know, in Land of the Dead,
Right.
the one guy figured out, like, hey, if I pick up this gun and do this with it, it shoots things.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right,
then in
right.
Land of the Lost, I
Yeah.
didn't see that movie.
They figured out how to jump into a dinosaur's mouth. I would go vampires.
Oh,
but
interesting.
not because I really like vampires, but because you can reason with vampires.
Right.
And they sort of have to keep humans around so that they
Right.
don't run out of supply.
Oh.
And you have more options. You can either just plain get killed, or you can get turned into a vampire.
Let me write this
That's
down.
that's a good point. Like vampires need human lackeys
Yeah,
in a way that, and I could fill that role. Like there's job opportunities.
You'd be like the Renfield, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I could, like,
whatever you
zombies
want.
and werewolves don't need that. Like,
I could
Right.
be. You
I'm-
could be some kind of vampire houseboy.
yeah, exactly.
There you go. I think I find zombies appealing for the opposite reason. I think the reason people love zombie movies is you can wipe them out
Right.
without any sort of moral question. I mean, every zombie movie,
Alright.
of course, has that moment where the person has to go like, "Oh, should I shoot my now zombie dad or whatever?" But like vampires and werewolves have a humanism to them, whereas zombies are just like It's almost like having a velociraptor attack you.
Yeah.
So
Just like
you would submit that that zombies have more humanism to them than, or not, that werewolves have
Werewolves,
more.
yeah.
Even that they're all furry and everything.
Yeah, because they turn back into a dude for
Are they
29
really
days.
that much hairier than your average Armenian dude?
the pressure is intense. It's a lot like a police interrogation, only nitty grittier.
Okay.
For those who haven't heard the pressure cooker before, it's a series of questions of escalating intensity developed by our mentor, Glenn Close.
That's right.
Steve, would you like to begin?
Sure. So I'm going to do one for each, and then you do one for each.
Sounds good.
All right. Charlie Sanders, star of MTV's Death Valley, along with Brian Callen. I love Brian Callen. Did I mention that? Because he's fun.
Yeah, he's great to work with. Very
That's
fun.
not your pressure cooker question,
okay.
but I'm glad to hear that. All right. Rate Skyler on a scale of 1 to 10. The pressure's on.
Just as a human.
Any factors you want. It could be as a white guy. It could be as a handsome guy. It could be.
A solid 7.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, when you get to know me better, that's going to go down.
Gabe Snyder.
All right.
What TV show have you seen the most?
Who's the boss?
Nope.
Well, pressure cooked.
No
No,
pressure there.
the question
no
was, what TV
hesitation.
show have you seen the most number of time with your pants on?
Oh.
I'm kidding. Who's the boss? It is. That works. The pressure's on for Mike Alber.
Bring it.
When did you first realize that this might have been a mistake?
1993.
Oh, wow. Okay. Before the show even existed.
Oh.
My goodness. Skylar, I turn it over to you.
All right, Charlie Sanders.
Yeah.
If you could pick any role in stage, film, or television that's already happened that you wish you could have played, what would it be?
The pressure's on.
Wow, that's a great question. I want to play George Washington.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Wouldn't have seen that one coming. I like it.
Bald George Washington. That would have to be the name of the script, too. I would only do it if it was called Bald George Washington. And I want it to be the story of how his life would have been different if he were bald.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he was.
He
just
might
had
have been.
a powdered
Yeah,
wig.
it's a
That's
powdered
all.
wig.
Oh, maybe it's
mean-
about his. We never even get to the American Revolution. It's just about him growing up and becoming bald and
Right,
choosing to
yeah.
put a wig on.
Poor George.
All right. Gabe Snyder. How often do you floss and why?
Oh, wow.
Don't forget the second part of the question.
And why? Teeth, right?
Yeah, teeth.
Okay. I would say that I floss whenever somebody reminds me that I should be flossing, which ends up probably being like once every couple weeks or so.
Is this because of something they saw visually, or?
Yeah, or, something they smelled while we were making out.
Okay.
Go on. I was telling him to go on.
Oh,
Me to go on? Oh, okay.
More of those making out stories.
There's only the one.
And then it ended with, man, you should really floss.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote it into Penthouse Forums once, but they said it wasn't.
It wasn't quite
It wasn't
Stevie
quite
enough.
what they were looking for.
I never believed this would happen to me, but
Right.
girl
Mike-
told me I had to floss.
Mike Alber.
Yes,
What is the strangest thing about your home life?
Family friendly.
my wife is technically dead.
Is she a zombie?
I mean, she's not undead. She's just dead.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, it's a real weekend at Bernie's that you got going on at your place.
is.
But it's been lasting forever.
Right.
I mean,
She's
years.
a big fan of the show, though. Actually, I sit her up on the couch and I give her the glasses with the eyes, and she's super happy to be there.
Great.
She's very supportive. My dead wife.
All right.
I think that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty weird. That counts.
Yeah.